this is Riley. Last night I went to a games night at a friend's house. In the warmth of his apartment, despite the chilly weather outside, we were all gathered around various games. Either racing to be the first to scream a keyword while getting red in the face from adrenaline, or strategically going around turn by turn trying to outsmart and maybe even outbuy your competitors. Board games have always had kind of a warm place in my heart. Whether it was Snakes and Ladders or Life, Monopoly, Apples to Apples, or just plain old cards, it seems to me that I've played board games in every stage of my life everywhere that I go. And I've always learned from them. Not only are they fun and kind of a tool for breaking the ice or interacting with other people, but research shows that especially children learn from board games. For example, they can teach children numeracy, different communication skills, how to negotiate, how to plan ahead, how to think strategically, and if nothing else, I'd say Monopoly is a pretty good way to teach people how poisonous wealth can be, especially if you've got a board flipper. When I was little, I didn't have Wi-Fi, I didn't have computers, and if I wanted to hang out with friends and do something together inside, it would generally be a board game. And funnily enough, even now, despite the growth in technology and how many homes have internet and different games, and there are so many more things to do, it seems that good old-fashioned board games have become more popular than before. Though board games have been around for a very long time, a very, very long time, the oldest board game that we know of being an Egyptian board game called Senet, dating back from around the year 3100 BC. They haven't always been a cherished activity. Like many of the leisure activities that we enjoy today, the church kind of thought it was evil back in the 17th and 18th century. Board games and dice were things of the devil. So who knows, maybe it was because of that hesitancy back then that it took games a while to pick up, or maybe it's just because of the geek chic movement in the last little while. But after the 1990s, board game popularity has skyrocketed. And now tabletop games are so popular that there are even animes about them. There are kind of animes about everything. So sales have gone up, we see board games in more and more places, more people want to play board games, and then we have board game cafes. And board game cafes are awesome. They're great for people who can't commit to buying one board game that they know they'll get tired of, and that might cost them anywhere from $20 to $60 or more. So all the board game cafes that I've been to have charged about $5 a person, and once you're in, you can play as many board games as you want and stay for as long as you want. So it's a pretty good option that's not too expensive and gives you a lot of variety. Of course, if you go a lot, like once a week or all the time, it might become less cost efficient than just buying a few board games with your friends. Nevertheless, these cafes do provide a really good environment for gaming that you might not be able to find at home. I'm curious to know what other people think about board game cafes, whether they would prefer buying their own games or going out to cafes to play them. I've had a lot of fun in both. I know that I've really enjoyed some times that I've played games just in someone's house though. It's a little bit more cozy. So as old as time itself, basically. Board games have been around for a long time and they do a lot for people. They connect people. If you're just meeting people or you're kind of nervous in a group, they're a great icebreaker. They get people out of their shell a little bit. Also, lots of people spend almost all day on a device and a computer. So actually having some face-to-face interaction can be a relief after a long week of computer screens. Anyways, if it's rainy, you should cozy up with a good old board game and spend some time with people that you care about. See you next Friday.